Hey guys, welcome to another video on my channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the difference between the Spectre Shocktrain and the Spectre Pulsar. So a couple of you have asked me, about the two builds in particular, mostly because the Pulsar just came out recently and it has a 600 meter range. Trying to see if I can maybe get this beacon here with my Strider. And yeah, it has the 600 meter range. So kind of similar to the Shocktrain in a way, except manual aiming. Oh man, this guy's got a sewer here. Let's see if we can try to take him out, and this guy here as well. Wow, this just move this side. This guy's he's getting this beacon. I'm gonna try to help him turn it. Strider's doing pretty well here, but it's gonna go down soon. Trying to inflict as much damage as possible. Okay, so this is my lineup that I have here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in with my Spectre Shocktrain and explain a couple of differences between this build and the other. So first of all, the Shocktrain has a range of 500 meters and it is a lock-on weapon. So what that means is, let me just lock onto this player. I know I can't hit them. Just want to illustrate a point. Actually, he's going to be going down. Maybe let's use this one here. So lock on means basically if I lock onto this target, if I turn a little bit to the right, as long as that target is within the green bracket, notice how my shock trains react. Let me just see if I can get, I have to be a little bit closer here. Yeah, here we go, so 600. If I turn a little bit to the right, notice how my shock trains react. See how it's turning. As long as that player is within, the green bracket, if you fire, it will automatically turn and fire, to actually hit that player. So it helps with the whole aim thing. You don't really have to aim as much, and that's why a lot of players were saying that this weapon in particular doesn't really require much skill because of that. When you hit the target, it's also instant damage. And the other thing that makes this, I think, which really defines this weapon is the chain damage. So anyone who is within like 150 meters, I believe it is, of the person that's being hit, that's where that chain damage comes in, and that's what makes this weapon so deadly. And I have to point that out because when I get to the Pulsar build, you'll see, or at least understand, the differences between the two. So let's see if we can try to get shot in on this player. I think this player is actually in a Spectre, but if I can hit one of these guys back here. Yep, he just jumped up. Let's see if we can hit him. There's another one here. So what I'm going to do is I might try to execute that. So do you see how I jumped to the side? I was facing to the right side, but I still hit that Fury because my weapons were facing him. And if I can hit this guy. There we go. So you can see, very deadly. And I think what I'm going to do is, because I've taken a few players out here, I want to run through all my bots because I do have like Galahad and stuff that I'd like to run as well. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play this aggressively. Let's see if we can take that guy out, or at least knock his weapon. And I don't know if you saw the chain damage. I'm going to fire once again. Nice, these guys aren't trying to take me out. I'm trying to get close to this one. See how it chained to the right player there? So that's one of the key differences with this weapon. And yeah, you don't want to brawl with it like I'm doing either. I'm just doing this because I need to get out of that build, and then I'm going to run the Spectre with the Pulsar weapon. So this is the Pulsar weapon. So this has a range of up to 600. The Shocktrain was 500. This is manual aiming. So if I lock onto this player here, if I turn a little bit to the right, notice how my weapons don't turn to the target. And that is a very key difference between this and the other one. This weapon also locks down the player. Not every round will not, lock them down, but I think it's a percentage. I can't remember what the percentage is, but if you are firing at them, there's a small percentage that will lock them down, and then you do damage. And also, it's not instant damage. Trying to see if I can get this guy into lockdown. So see how many times I had to hit him. that player got me. He was within range, and I think he was waiting to hit me there. But I'm going to see if I can lock him down. He is within range, and we managed to... Oh, that guy locked down there too. So it doesn't do a ton of damage. It does have the range, but the main, I guess, feature or characteristic of this weapon that really defines it is the lockdown. You know, immobilizing the enemy. So I can do this while they're in stealth, and I can hit them. Trying to lock him down. He is on lockdown. Someone needs to hit him. There we go. So quite a few of my rounds did hit this player, but he wasn't locked down. And keep in mind too that, you know, all my weapons for the Pulsar and the Shocktrain are max level MK2s. So it gives you an idea of the capability of this weapon. So this player here is in lockdown. I'm hitting them, but take a look at how long it's taking me to actually wear him down. So you see that blue icon flashing there, and that means that he is immune. So you have to wait a couple of seconds before you can immobilize them again. So anyways, that is game number 1. Let's see how well we did in terms of damage. Because I think quite a lot of the damage actually came from the Shocktrain. I was doing quite a bit of damage from that. So 904, I wasn't really going for beacons because I wanted to kind of showcase the 2 builds in particular. But let's head off to game number 2. And hopefully we get a different map, a different game mode. And that way you can see the differences, you know, in terms of how you play it. But also how effective it can be, maybe on a smaller map. Okay, so game 2 we have dropped in on Springfield map, and this is a beacon rush. So I'm going to try to see if I can get across here before this other guy does. Come on, let's see if we can get to this beacon. Trying to race to see if I can get their home beacon here before they do. I do see a little bit of game lag as well on my end. I don't know if you guys can see. It's almost like frame drops. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this. Trying to stop this guy before he gets it. Wasn't able to. But let's drop in here with... I'm going to drop in with the Spectre Pulsar because we need some range. This has 600 meter range. The Shocktrains have 500. Try to see if we can maybe knock down some of these guys, or at least immobilize them. Okay, so this player is on lockdown. I'm going to lock onto him and try to wear them down a bit. I think we're going to have a hard time getting into that center because this is Beacon Rush. They just keep on spawning in at the center to defend it. Hoping that one of my shots might be able to hit him. He's very close. There we go. So that player on the other team, notice how quickly they're doing damage to me with those Shocktrains. And a lot of players have asked me, you know, which one do I prefer? I think personally in Champion League we're going to still see more Shocktrains until that mechanic changes. This guy, let's see if I'm able to actually bring him down now, because I'm going to try to put him on lockdown, but he might still be able to kill me here. Let's see. Yeah, that was really, really close. I think if he had stayed behind cover, he would have probably been able to take me out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take down this player here. This is going to be tough. And 2 players haven't dropped in yet. Come on, jump. There we go. We got him on lockdown. Damn, look at my health. 659. I just noticed that now. Hanging by a thread. But you know what? At this point, I've done quite a bit of damage. Even if I were to go down in the spot, I think it was well worth it. They are probably going to drop in. You can see that there are 2 players that have not dropped in yet because they are waiting to drop in, probably at center. I'm going to move across this side. Maybe I can immobilize him and bring him down, perhaps. It's going to be close. Maybe immobilize this player, but I am going to go down. So I think I did a pretty decent job with that build. But let's drop in here with the shock trains. I think one thing that really could be the deciding factor for especially Champion League players, because usually when it comes to Champion League players, it's all about the damage, and having that instant damage, I think the shock trains might still be the weapon of choice. That doesn't mean to say that the Spectre with the Pulsar is not deadly. You pretty much saw when I was running it earlier there. Oops, I tried to lock onto that player. And I don't know if you saw that, but my weapons fired at the next player that was not in stealth. And this is what I mean by... Oh, man, that guy turned his back and he got a back full of trebs there. But as I was saying, you know, I had locked onto that player and then he jumped. I didn't fire quick enough. If I did, I probably would have been able to hit him while he was in stealth. But you could see how my weapons automatically switched to the next target available. And that's even without me aiming. So I think as long as we have the lock on, this weapon is going to be used. If they do happen to switch the mechanics of the shock train to manual aim, then we might see players start to move to the Pulsar. This is just my my opinion. I don't know whether that is going to happen, but I would imagine that's how players would use it, because the thing with the shock train is you have to manually aim on the test server that they had. So I don't know if you saw that. I was able to hit that guy and it bounced off him to hit this Inquisitor here. And here's the thing, you know, I don't even have to aim at that guy. If I had manual aim like the Pulsar, I probably would have missed a couple of shots when this player dashed here. We need to get into the center. So I'm locked onto him because when he dashes, then I'm gonna be able to switch. He's gonna try to stop me now though, because I'm gonna get this beacon if he doesn't. Come on, come on, come on. And this is the other thing too. If you have shock trains and you are engaging close up like I was, in that situation, having the lock on the shock train helps a lot, because remember, it's automatically tracking the other player that you are locked onto. If you were running the Pulsar weapon, you would have had to manually aim at them. So, you know, there's that. So that's why I kind of think that, you know, for the shock train, I think that what needs to happen with that, we need manual aim. I know a lot of players say how with the manual aim, it's going to allow, or it's going to make that weapon a lot deadlier. But in my opinion, I don't think I can see that happening. Only because when you lock onto a player, like especially with like a Balkazari shock train, it allows you to corner peek and your weapons automatically aim for you. With manual aim, you wouldn't be able to do that. When you saw me, you know, locking onto that player and then moving to the left and to the right side, you can clearly see, you know, how my weapons they face the player that needs to be taken out, or at least the one that you're aiming at. Trying to actually get into the center here. We're starting to burn out. I don't know if you're going to win this. Yeah, I don't think we're going to win this. I tried to take that player out, but I don't think we're going to have enough time here. And a very close game. But anyways, guys, that's kind of what I wanted to show you. You know, the difference between the Spectre Pulsar versus the Shocktrains. So once again, you know, just to sum things up, the Spectre Shocktrain with the lock-on and the instant damage plus the chain damage, in my opinion, actually makes that weapon a lot deadlier than the Pulsar. If they were to change the mechanics of the Shocktrain to where it's manual aim, we may potentially see the Spectre Pulsar being used more. But anyways, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts and opinions on these two builds. If you had to pick, you know, one or the other, which one would you pick? And that pretty much wraps it up. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.